Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, just welcome. My name is Amy, this is PS I Love Books, and today I wanted to share with you the 6 books, get me, that I read in the month of January. So 6 books for me is amazing. I'm super pleased. I wanted to try and read sort of 3 books a month, so to read 6 in the first month is a brilliant start. I'm a really slow reader, as I've said many times before, and I work full time. And I also have an Archie who is currently asleep at the end of the bed, so hopefully he'll stay there, bless him, for a little bit. So yeah, I'm just going to jump right in, let you know the books that I read in January. I'm going to show them you in the order that I read them in, so that's okay. First up, I read 'Twas the Night Shift Before Christmas by Adam Kay. That's Archie growling at nothing. Archie, stop it. Shh. Sorry. 'Twas the Night Shift Before Christmas by Adam Kay. I'm sure you will all know Beautiful Sprayed Red Edges. This is the second book by Adam Kay. This is Going to Hurt. Was his first book. They're non-fiction books. They're diary entries from when he was a doctor with the NHS. I loved This Is Going to Hurt. It was one of my favourite books of last year. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. This one, I've given it 4 stars, but I keep thinking about it and I might have to go back and put it down to 3. That's on like Goodreads, because a bit controversial, I know. Everyone was saying they didn't love it as much because it was only a slim book. I didn't mind that, that's fine. What annoyed me was there's a story in here that he tells that's like heartbreaking and just, I mean, he tells it brilliantly and you really feel it, you know. But he put a note at the bottom saying, I don't know why I didn't put this in This Is Going to Hurt, because this was like a big, you know, a pinnacle moment in my career as a doctor. And as much as I want to believe that he just didn't put it in because he was worried how it would be received. So I'm like, Amy, he was just doing it to test the waters, and then he thought, I'll put it out there now, the big story. But then at the same time, I just keep thinking, did he just keep it so that he could do another book? Is that really bad? But I don't know, it's just how I feel. But nonetheless, it was really good. More about his personal life, which was nice. Quick read. Not as brilliant as I'd have hoped. This Is Going to Hurt was way better in my opinion, but still, that was my first book of the year. Then I read, oh my goodness, the amazing Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. I'm so bad at names, I'm so sorry. It came joint first in the Booker Prize last year, 2019, with Margaret Atwell, The Testaments, which I haven't read. Oh my gosh, this book was absolutely amazing. It tells the story of girls and women across Britain throughout ages, from like the 80s all the way through to like modern day. And there's like a line running through it all the way. And it just tells their stories. They're all black women. So there's great representation in it. It's so moving. It's so funny. It's so relatable. It's written beautifully. Like, you can see, like, there's not any like full stops. I don't know if you can see that. So I don't think it's written in verse because it's like, you know, it is like a novel. It's really big. But oh my goodness, I absolutely love this book. I flew through it. I was so chuffed I treated myself to it before Christmas. Absolutely brilliant. The stories are so heartfelt, so meaningful, and the women that you meet along the way are like people that you like, people you don't like. You see their good sides, their bad sides. It's funny, it's so heartwarming, it's so empowering, it's just amazing, and I absolutely 100% recommend that everyone reads this book. It was just a joy to read and really, really kicked off my reading for this year, and I just bloody loved it. It was brilliant. One thing, does anybody know why it's got the number 6 there? all the books had it, and I've looked online and they've all got it, and it's like written on in like pen. I don't know, I don't get it, but it's not a sixth novel, it's not a sixth book, so I'm just really confused. So if anyone can tell me, I'd be really interested to know. But yeah, it was absolutely phenomenal, absolutely loved it. 5 stars. Please read it. Oh, so good. The next book I read was another 5-star book. This was Before the Coffee Gets Cold by this gentleman here. This book kept coming up to me when I was on the Waterstones website. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'd read the Convenience Store Woman last year and bought that online, and this is from like the same, it's like translated fiction, and I thought maybe that was the reason. But oh my goodness, this book, so much better than that one. It's based on a play. Archie! He keeps moving the camera, I'm sorry. Just calm down, baby. Good boy. God, he's just peeping over at me. Good boy. Sorry, it's based on a play, and the way it's written, I could just see it in my head so clearly. It was so moving. I cried. It was just wonderful. It's set in one room. So it's set in like a cafe, sort of like a dingy little cafe in like almost like a cellar with like really dim lighting. And if you go there, then you can travel through time, so you can go back or forward. But there's certain rules you have to follow. For example, you have to be back before the coffee gets cold. And you find out why you have to follow all of these rules. And then you meet these people along the way. It's almost like short stories throughout the book of like a mother and a daughter, of like 2 lovers and their stories, and what would have happened different had they have done that thing differently that they wanted to go back to, or that they wanted to go and see how it had worked out. And it was absolutely brilliant. If this was ever a play like here, I would absolutely go and see it. It was so good. The writing was amazing. The characters were awesome. There was like the manager of the cafe, the waitress, and then there was like some regulars, and you found out about their stories as well. So there was just so much going on, and it's not a very thick, like big book at all. It's not very thick. Again, I flew through this book. Absolutely recommend. It's so wonderful. If you're looking for something a little bit different, it's like that magical realism, which I never read. So it was something really new for me, and it was just beautiful, and I just loved it. 5 stars. I think I said that. Anyway. Next book I read was Queenie by Candice Carty-Williams. This book, I'll be honest, I've read the first page when I was in Waterstones before Christmas, and it didn't really grab me. And then I saw lots and lots of people talking about it, and I was like, do you know what? I need to get my hands on this book. So I bought it with my Christmas voucher from work, and I'm so glad I did. It is so real. It's so relatable. The main character that we follow, Queenie, is just going through a pretty rough time, and we just sort of follow her life and what happens and how her family deal with it and her friends. And what's great about this book is it's not always like a happy ending, like in some, like, I suppose it's like chick flick, really, like contemporary, but it's not like happy ending. It's real life and how she reacts to it and how she deals with it, and what she goes through. The mental health representation in this I thought was really spot on. So there is triggers for that, anxiety, and panic attacks and things, but so it can be quite a hard read at times, but I just think it's so brilliant that it's here and that people need to read it, because how she described her feelings, like how the author described how Queenie was feeling and what she was going through and how she dealt with it and how the outside world saw her, I just thought was brilliant. Again, so empowering. Queenie is a Black young woman who is working, loses her apartment, she has a relationship breakdown, has to move in with family, and it's just about her getting on her feet again. And then it just sort of like goes on, and it just kind of like ends, so that you just, at the end I was just like, oh, good luck, Queenie. Like, I was just like, oh, I feel ya, I hear ya. Also have to mention Queenie's friend in this. she's so funny. There is one bit in this book where Queenie's sat doing her friend's hair, and her friend's like sat on the floor between her legs while she's doing her hair, and oh my goodness, I laughed out loud so much, and I could so see if it was like a TV show or a film, and it was just brilliant. Like the things that like girls talk about when we're on our own together, while we're getting ready, and about boys and about what we think of them and what they're thinking, and it was just brilliant, and it was super fun, and I'm really glad that I picked it up. Really important, real feel good, because it reminds you that everything isn't perfect, but that's okay, because you keep going anyway. It was really good. 5 stars, absolutely loved it. Oh, and just to notice, I've obviously got the bright pink one, but I've seen on Waterstones that they're doing it in like different colours. There's like a really nice bright yellow and a blue, I think. So yeah, if you're gonna get it, pick your colour, which I thought was nice, but I still like the pink, to be fair. The next book I read was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I loved this book. It's a YA. It's not really a thriller, it's more like a crime. Basically, this guy was murdered, and a few years later, schoolgirl Andy Bell was murdered by Sal Singh. The police know he did it, everyone in town knows he did it. But the girl that we follow in it, what's her name? Pippa. I thought it was Pippa. She decides to look back over the case for her A-level dissertation or something, sort of like a project she's got to do. And she decides to look at this case. The 2 people that were involved went to her school, so she goes on her own sort of like little Sherlock Holmes kind of esque thing of like finding out what really happened. I loved it. I really, really, really did. But I had to give it 4 stars. One, something happens in this book which broke my heart. I had to put it down and turn over so I wasn't looking at it. You know, like in Friends when Joey's like, it's got to go in the freezer. It needed to just go away from me, because I was like, why would you write that? Why would you put that in a YA book? It really, really upset me. It's not really part of like the plot or anything, but it just killed me. If you've read it, you'll know. I'm not going to give any spoilers away. But yeah, so that happened, that upset me. And also there's a lot of privilege in this book. Pip, from what I gather, is a white girl. She's like 17 and she's got her own car and she drives around and she's at this really good school, and I just felt like, you know, I get that there are people out there who are lucky enough to have all of that, but a lot of people don't. So I just didn't think it was as relatable as it could have been. Yeah. Pips has like a friendship with the guy who was murdered, his brother, and their relationship really blossoms, which was really lovely to read. The ending was great. Lots of twists and turns at the end, I have to say. You thought it was one thing, then it was another, and then it was another. So that was really good. Holly Jackson has written a sequel. I don't know if it's a sequel or part of the series, but it's got the same characters in, which is not out till April. I think it's called Good Girl's Blood or something, but I will definitely pick that one up. So I had to give this a 4 star because the writing was brilliant. It's got like mixed media in it as well, so there's a lot of like police reports and interviews and things that she does with people. She's obviously a very intelligent girl, to find out what happened, and it's not what you think. So it was really, really good. I'm surprised it was a YA, to be honest. I thought it was more just like a normal, you know, I'll say normal, I shouldn't say that, but like an adult crime book. But I suppose because they were at school and that age, that's the reason it was. But yeah, really good, apart from the very upsetting moment, which still gets me. And yeah, just a bit too much privilege for me. I want something that I can like relate to, like working class, kind of just doing what you can to find things out. So, but yeah, nonetheless, really enjoyable, and we'll definitely pick up the second one. And then the last book that I read in the month of January was The Silent Patient by Alex McCanfield. Oh, I've just bent this corner. I mean, how annoying. I can't even blame Archie because it was genuinely my fault. I've just literally done it as I've put the books down. Never mind. This is an adult thriller, like a psychological thriller. I was talking to my friend about it and I described it as unnerving. Now, books don't scare me. I live on my own. I'm fine. I don't get scared. I don't have to sleep with the light on. I'm lucky. I'm okay. But this book had like an edge to it, and it really, really put me on edge. It was unnerving. That was how I described it. It's about a woman who shot her husband, and then since that day she hasn't said a word to anyone. She's in a hospital where they have like therapy, and then we follow the main guy who comes in and wants to sort of rescue her, basically wants her to talk to him. He wants to be the one that she speaks to, that she confides in, that she tells what happened. And we follow him and how he got to where she is, which is called the Grove, and his personal life. And right at the beginning of the book, I sort of got a feeling and was like, oh, that's what's going to happen. It wasn't. The ending was absolutely brilliant. In my opinion, it was so great. It was so shocking. I thought it was written really well. You have sort of diary entries from Alicia, the woman who shot her husband. And then obviously we follow like the main character, the guy, like the doctor. And you meet some of the patients there, and some of the professors and doctors, to find out what happened. And it was such a page turner. It really had me going right till the end. Literally till like the last chapter, I didn't know what was going to happen. It was compelling. It was intense. It really set the scene. I thought it was one of the best thrillers that I've ever read. It was brilliant. 5 stars. Really, really great. So that's the 6 books that I read in January. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 books that I read in January. I had such a great reading month. Really, really super proud of myself for reading 6 books. It is now the 5th of February and I am on my 2nd book of the month. So doing really well again. So fingers crossed I should get another good reading month. Let me know if you've read any of these books. And if you have, what you thought of them, and if you know what I'm talking about the Good Girl's Guide to Murder, the absolute heartbreaking moment. I hope this video is okay, and hopefully I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye.